The State Department says Secretary Blinken, in his call with Minister Pandor, affirmed the robust cooperation between South Africa and the United States across areas of common interest, following what they refer to as the productive meeting in Washington between President Joe Biden and President Cyril Ramaphosa this past September. Blinken also tweeted that he'd spoken with Kenyan President William Ruto on peace and security in the Horn of Africa, while extending his thanks to South Africa for its important role in hosting the peace talks. The US envoy to the UN said Friday that as many as 500,000 people had died in the two-year conflict.
We're pleased that the AU announced that peace talks will begin on Monday in South Africa, and we welcome the strong statement made by the African Union the AU Peace and Security Commission today. And we welcome the stated commitment by the governments of Ethiopia and Tigray regional authorities to participate in these meetings. It is critical that all of the parties seize this opportunity and engage seriously in talks to bring an end to the fighting and the suffering of the Ethiopian people. Once the fighting stops, and it must, warring parties must negotiate concrete modalities to prevent a return to conflict, including security arrangements, a pathway to broader political dialogue, and assurances of unhindered humanitarian access and restoration of services.
The Secretary General last week warning that the situation was spiraling out of control, raising concern that the social fabric in northern Ethiopia was being ripped apart as the organization marks UN Day and the entry into force of the UN Charter in 1945.
The United Nations was made for moments like these. Now more than ever, we need to bring to life the values and principles of the UN Charter in every corner of the world. By giving peace a chance and ending conflicts that jeopardize lives, futures, and global progress. By working to end extreme poverty, reduce inequalities, and rescue the Sustainable Development Goals.
At the Vatican, Pope Francis offered prayers in St. Peter's Square for peace in Ethiopia.
Seguo la persistente situazione di conflitto in Ethiopia.
I follow with concern about the ongoing conflict in Ethiopia. Once again, I heartily reiterate that violence does not resolve problems, but only increases their tragic consequences. I appeal to political leaders to end the suffering of the defenseless people and to find equitable solutions for lasting peace throughout the country. May the efforts of the parties for dialogue and the pursuit of the common good lead to a concrete path of reconciliation.
The United States also warning that while it supported AU peace efforts, it remained ready to take appropriate measures against those who obstruct a resolution to the conflict, expressing a determination to have those who commit human rights abuses held to account.
Let me be clear, there is no military solution to this conflict. The only path forward is for the parties to pursue a negotiated settlement through peace talks. And we must prevent the region from spiraling further out of control. There's no time to waste.
The talks in South Africa come as fighting continues on the ground. After almost 2 years of conflict that has killed hundreds of thousands and displaced millions, leaving multitudes in need of humanitarian aid in one of the poorest regions of the world. Shervin Briceby's SABC News, New York.